Okay, so welcome to another episode here on Sandy Bay Media. Just make sure to give us a like and a follow. It helps the page out. So we're here with Bianca from Salisbury, and we're going to get to know a little bit about their club and just have a look at what they're doing. So Salisbury are a club in South Australia. Over to you, Bianca.
Thank you. We've been a club around in the Salisbury area for a really long time. We're established back in 66 and started out with men's amateur teams, and the club was a men's amateur club for a really long time, probably around at least 40 years. That was what we fielded, and always fielded in the men's first division. So from the get-go, it was definitely about a team that was very strong. We had some really great players come to the club early, and then we had a really great patch through the 80s where we won 10 championships and lots of cups. So the club has been really successful early on, which was great, and it was always a family focus from the very beginning, I guess, being a club that was brought together from initially Italian migrants. Those sorts of cultural beliefs came through. It was definitely a club where people would come and play cards and be there socially. Families would come down for the whole day and watch the A's, B's and C's. And, through those periods, the league was obviously very much about that. You didn't have to travel too far for your games. There are lots of clubs in the area, and it was always a really good day out of watching soccer, but also socialising and an opportunity for lots of different cultures to get together and meet new people and sort of become part of the community. So the club was established very early on. And was very successful. And we started women's and junior girls, over the last 10 years. So that's only something that's come about recently when looking at the whole club history over all the years. It's just sort of been the last decade where that's sort of been introduced, and we still have the men's teams playing as well, which is great. So there's a lot of players that continue to service the club in that way. We had, one of our players on the weekend played his 300th game, and the other week someone played 450, and those sort of players continue to rack up service to the club, and that's really important to us. So, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And I know you mentioned being a family-orientated club and environment. Is that still the culture, right?
Absolutely. And I guess it's interesting to see the generations change in that way.
Yeah.
It's certainly how I got involved in the club. My dad used to play back in the day for many, many years, and a lot of our family then helped out, in the kitchen or running the club. I've had, I think it's 4 or 5 uncles that have been president of the club at some time. So it's definitely been in the family, but we went through a period of everyone having a lot of girls and not so many sons. There was a lot of daughters that were born in. So we went through a period of being involved at that level, and now you see those generations change and see the kids come back and play, which has been really, really great to see. And we've also had a lot of families within the club as well that have played, that are still playing, and now their kids are playing, or their dads used to coach and they have played for 7 or 8 years, and then their partners play, and it definitely provides a really good feeling. It's certainly not something that you go out and plan for to try and just attract people that will bring their whole family, but I guess it's a place that becomes familiar and comfortable, and as we've developed in the last 10 years through the women's teams and junior girls teams, and then this is our first year where we've actually had Miniroos boys teams as well, and an under 12 boys team. So I guess we've been able to provide those areas where the whole family can play if they want to, and it's been able to keep that culture of a family environment, which is great.
Yeah, and that's always the way to go. And I think you do the little things right, and the rest just follows along.
Yeah, absolutely. Being inclusive is really important, and over the last few years, we've really tried to focus on being able to provide for anybody, different levels, and also different ages, and also male and female. But if they're wanting to play elite or at a high level, there are those pathways there at our club. But if they want to play social, that's still there for them as well. And it is hard to do both and to be able to cater for both, but it's important to our club committee and a lot of our members that it's something that is still thought about in everything we do, that there's those options for both, and that anyone can come and play and come and learn how to play at a late stage of their life, or at a very early stage. So that's really important to us.
Yeah, it's like going back to that inclusive nature and just trying to keep everyone involved regardless of age or ability.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have a lot of supporters that continue to come down and support. They might not be a player themselves, but they still will enjoy watching all the different teams and just sitting back on a Sunday and seeing who's playing that day and what's at the club on a Sunday. And that's really great to have those people around in the community that are comfortable there.
It's fantastic to hear that. And just moving on to the next part, looking at some achievements of the programs that the clubs run either on or off the pitch.
Yeah, the mini roos has been a really big focus, or something that I guess we started mini roos girls back in 2015, and managed to keep the focus on those sort of age groups. So mini roos in SA for the girls is under 7s, under 9s and under 11s. They're the age groups that they run that are just girls teams. So it's an area where SA is continuing to develop. It's not huge numbers, but it's something that our clubs certainly continued to, since 2015, continue to field, and continue to try and have multiple teams in multiple age groups, so that there is that experience early on. It's obviously something that we could debate for a long time about mixed or female only teams, and there's definitely pros and cons to both, but we certainly wanted to be able to have those teams for girls that were more comfortable playing with girls, and had the confidence to give the sport a go in that sort of environment. So we've kept it up since 2015, and it's obviously then helped us have the junior girls age out of mini roos and start playing at under 13s level and carry through and stay at the club for multiple seasons, which is great. So it's helped to have that foundation, but it's always been important to us that we have those low level, low age group teams, so that people can just try. And it's gone really well. It just continues to grow, which is really good, and is definitely a focus for SA. I think that more clubs can try and get involved at that level. It's just girls having a kick and they're happy running around out there. It doesn't take a lot to set up. You can use cones if you don't have goals, and it's really easy to do, and it goes a long way with girls getting a taste for soccer early on in their life, and building relationships, having fun, getting confidence, all of those sorts of things that go along with it. So for the sport, I think it's really important that it continues to be a focus, especially heading into the World Cup, that we get as many girls involved as possible at an early age. And then, we started the boys this year with the mini roos, which was great. So we've got an under 7s and under 9s and an under 11s with the boys as well, and a few siblings, which has been really nice to see. The girls have been kicking around for a few years, and now the brothers can join them at our club, which is really good. And scheduling those games on around the same sort of times, very early in the mornings on a Sunday, but seeing so many little kids just running around, having fun and learning the game is so rewarding and has been amazing this year. So something that we'll definitely continue and continue to put effort into, getting those kids involved early on.
Mm. I think thank you for sharing that. And it's been great to hear everything the club's doing. It's fantastic, and this is the kind of stuff that I enjoy promoting, is showing that we've got fantastic work that clubs like yourself are doing. To draw attention to it.
We've started in the junior girls this year. We started a team that we've called the Forza team, as in Forza Inter, which is that sort of terminology of together and being strong, and it sort of means you can do this together. It's the first year that we've introduced this team, which is a team the players have been selected across multiple age groups. So there's girls from 11 years old right up to 15, and playing together, training more than the other junior girls teams, and training, learning soccer principles that is probably not the same sort of thing that each team would be learning. And they've just come along in leaps and bounds, and that has been really successful for us so far, and something that we really want to continue. We've got some really tiny short girls that have just come out of a mini Roos environment, up against some really strong 14, 15-year-olds, and seeing how they've developed and learnt off each other has been really, really good, and has worked really well. They've obviously had some really great results. So they're playing in an under 15 league, even though they've got such a widespread age group. But they've done really well. They're sitting second, and they're obviously really focused on the game, and they're little girls that just love to play and love to learn, and are always at training and learning theory about the game, and they're so dedicated, which is really great. They've got a really good coach leading them in that way as well, and teaching them some high level stuff, which they've all taken on board really well. So that's been the first year we've done that this year, and is something we want to continue, just so that we can cater for all different levels, and players that are just naturally great, or really want to become a great player and go to high levels. So putting them together and seeing how they work together has been really good this year.
Fantastic. And I think you can just see that you're extremely passionate about just hearing you talk it. Just want to say thank you.
I wish you could physically come out and watch one of their games. If you were in SA, I would tell you, come and watch one of these games.
Well, when Victoria gets out of quarantine, I think we've got to go visit half the country. So
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But thank you for joining us. I really appreciate coming on, and hopefully we'll do more things with Salisbury.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll keep tabs and just have a look at how the teams are traveling and
sure.
forwards.
That would be great. Thanks for all the work you're doing. It's great for the sport, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.